Hello, I'm DerTebbers. This is your Flight Simulator X plane spotlight of the Sopwith Camel, the Sopwith Aviation Company. Just so you know, the radio is currently tuned to ATC. The problem is I can't actually find the radio to shut it up, so if the ATC radio starts chattering, that's why. Alright, so the Sopwith Camel, British, First World War, single-seat, biplane fighter introduced on the Western Front, 1917. Look at those beautiful radials. Oh, it's so peaceful and beautiful. Too bad it's a weapon of war. Difficult to handle, but to an experienced pilot, had unmatched maneuverability. I love the detail to the point where the lift here marks are actually on the tail. That's actually really nice. Let's get in our plane. We have a wicker seat. We have a gravity petrol there, so we have to remember that we have gravity petrol. All right. Let's take to the skies. We're gonna turn up the engine, because why not? We're gonna rev up our Claret 9B 9-cylinder rotary engine, 130 horsepower. And just like that, we're in the air. And notice how we're actually torquing to the left. Remember what I said about being difficult to handle? Yeah, we'll get to that in just a minute. The Camel was credited with shooting down 1,294 enemy aircraft, more than any other Allied fighter of the war. Intended as a replacement for the Sopwith Pup, the Camel prototype was first flown by Harry Hawker at Brooklands, 22 December 1916. It was originally known as the Big Pup. It was structurally conventional for its time in all its design. It was extremely conventional. Box-like fuselage structure, which we see on display here. Aluminum engine cowling, plywood covered panels around the cockpit, fabric wings, fabric fuselage, fabric tail. So very much not a trendsetter. It was not a trend-setting aircraft in terms of construction. Nothing special. However, for the first time on an operational British-designed fighter, two 3.03-inch or 7.7 millimeter. I think we're going to crash here. Hold on. Trying to rescue it. I think I got it. There. All right. For the first time, two 7.7 millimeter or 3.03-inch Vickers machine guns. There we go. Mounted directly in the front of the cockpit, firing forward through the propeller disc with a synchronization gear. First time. The metal flaring, and you can sort of see it here. There's a little bit of a metal flaring there. It was designed to protect the gun breeches from freezing at altitude. It created the distinctive hump that people decided, it's the Camel. Now, why am I struggling with this aircraft, and why do I also say it's extremely maneuverable but difficult to handle? It's because of the close placement of the engine, the pilot, the fuel, the guns. That's 90% of its weight within the front 7 feet of the aircraft. Coupled with the strong gyroscopic performance of this rotary engine. I have now taken my hand completely off the stick, and look at that. She's going to start torquing. Let's save her. In level flight, the aircraft is also markedly tail-heavy in real life. Now, this one is not, but that's still... There you go. The Camel provided a good margin of superiority over the Albatross D3 and D5s. Better armament, better performance than the Pup and the triplanes. Now, the Camel turns strongly to the left, as we've shown. In fact, when it goes left, it has a nose-up attitude. Look at it going nosy up as we turn. Now, if we turn right, and I'm just going straight right, she has a nose-down attitude. Look at that. She wants to go down. So all due to the gyroscopic forces of that engine. Now, That gyroscopic force was so strong that the aircraft could turn right faster than any of the other fighters of the time. In fact, it turned to the right so fast that if a pilot had to do a 90-degree left turn, many of them chose instead to do a 270-degree right turn because it was faster. How about that? I want to turn right. Well, I'll just turn left all the way around, and that'll get me back to the right. That's pretty much how it worked for the Sopwith Camel. Maximum speed was 115 miles per hour. That's 185 kilometers an hour. Range was 300 miles in a ferry mode, meaning that it was basically maxed out with gas. It wasn't in combat config. That's 485 kilometers. It was armed just with those 2 Vickers machine guns, though, of course, a pilot could carry a few bombs on his person if he so felt like it. We're going to try to land this plane here. There's a few things about biplanes. This is true of all biplanes, by the way. They often have more wing area on just their bottom wing than a Cessna does today. Yeah. So it does make landing more of a frisky process. There. Oh, there we go. Made it. We have made it. Now, included in this mod, there is, and I don't know what the button is because I didn't look it up, but there is the ability to cock the guns, and there is a sound file for the guns firing. So, you do have that. Let's shut her down. There we go, with her wooden prop. Insanity. All right, so what of our keys? Well, Shift 1 brings up the basic cockpit. Yeah, that's it. Shift 2 gives you a GPS. That's the end of the story. That's it. And you really don't need that other cockpit. You can pretty well use this interior cockpit. It's very well done, I think. And overall, I have no idea what that noise is. Overall, I really do like this aircraft. We're gonna start her up here. Little puff of smoke. Yeah. There's our airspeed indicator right there, by the way. See? As it goes, and our speed goes up. It slows down, our speed goes down. Yeah. Pretty awesome, huh? This is a really... Whoa, hey, look, we're on the inside. This is a really, really cool aircraft. If you are at all interested in World War II aircraft, this is definitely worth you checking out. There are 3 camels that come with this particular pack. The link is in the description as always. One thing I have to say is I cannot figure out how to turn the radio off. Yeah. Maybe you can. Or you can fly with them for all that it really matters. Alright, I've been DerTebbers. It's been your Flight Simulator X Plane Spotlight. We've been hanging out with a Sopwith Camel. I bet you I could make this takeoff run, by the way. Run it all the way up. Alright, we're heading back off to the Western Front. Yeah, the beauty of a biplane right there. Alright, till next time. Happy flying, everybody.